Hello, everybody. Spider here, the Fight Car Podcast, coming to you from San Antonio, Texas, being joined by the Mark Lozano. My man, how are you, man?
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, likewise, bro. I know we talked a little bit before this, man, and I mean, it's been a while since we've actually talked. I mean, the story goes, you of course, you grew up here in San Antonio, man. Trained here for years, wrestled. I mean, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and then did it some MMA, making the journey to Arizona, which is where you're still at right now, man. How's everything going out there?
Things are going good. Things are going good.
How's the
Yeah.
weather over there now, bro?
The weather, oh, it's perfect.
Oh
It's so
man,
good.
it's miserable over here.
It's like 60 degrees, but it's like dry over here, so it feels perfect.
Yeah, no, yeah, we just got rained on like the day for yesterday. It hadn't rained like in a month, bro. So it's been pretty crazy out here, but starting to get a little chilly. But I mean, San Antonio, man, it'll be hot
This is the
one
best
day.
time of year for weather. It just is. It's I think that in like February and like early March, not too late in March, but like early March is great.
And for you, because you go out there running, I mean, you run the mountains and the I mean, everywhere, man. I mean, what would you prefer for it to be hot or to be cold when you're out there running around?
Cold. Cold for sure. It gets like 115 degrees out here.
That's
You know.
Yeah, you were telling me about that the last time, man. I know it was pretty hot as hell, bro. Man, I mean, a few reasons I brought you on here, man. Of course, I mean, how have you been doing, man? I mean, training. I know you said you were off for a few weeks, maybe.
Yeah, I was out for a few. I popped my rib, like broke it essentially in late September, and I've just been recovering from that. There's not a whole lot you can do with a broken rib. It's not like a broken hand where you can still kick and you can still, you're limited, but you can still do stuff with a rib. It's literally like your core. If your core is messed up, literally everything else goes. So
Yeah.
gotten a little bit, put on a little bit of weight probably. I haven't been able to work either, but I think this is probably just necessary. It's a complete free accident too, and it's a good little break right before get ready for our first fight representing the lab.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. And of course, I mean, as far as staying busy, man, what have you been up to, man? You have a bike out there? You go bike riding, or what's going on?
Um, I can still I don't really have a bike, and I think I just mostly just run. I'll just try to do some medicine ball stuff. I'll try to work with like the ropes, like more practical stuff. I'm not trying to lift like super heavy weights, really, especially since I'm trying to lean down.
Oh yeah, I mean, the last fight that you had was actually kickboxing, right? That was your last bout.
No, I had an amateur title fight. That was my last.
Oh no, but that was for the. I thought it was for that kickboxing tournament.
Oh, nationals. That was before, and then I had the
I had those
title
two
fight,
last.
the MMA title fight in July. So it's been a big year for me.
No, man, and of course, man. I mean, as far as training, man, because of course you ended up you're doing something different. You're somewhere else right now, and of course it's working out for you, man. I mean, you're getting a lot more work on the personal. I mean, do you feel a lot more comfortable being out there?
Yeah, especially since like there's just a more variety of bigger names and legends out here. Like you don't, I feel like a lot of times if you're not used to those bigger names, like early on, you get into those bigger stages, and you might be fighting some sort of legend. And you're like kind of like, it's there's more nerves and there's more like there's a lot more pressure to it. But if you get, or, as soon as you get used to that kind of stuff, the better. Certainly for the long, which is why I did it.
No, no, for sure, man. And of course, as far as training, man, I mean, there's a promotion coming up. I mean, of course, you're not fighting on it, but Freedom Fight Night, man, this is gonna be their third installment in Arizona, and the Team Henderson versus Team Vader, man. So with that being said, bro, I mean, who do you think's gonna take it, bro?
Ben Henderson will probably take it. I'll be honest. So listen, what's funny is the reason you're asking me this for the viewers at home. By the way,
Oh yeah.
I've trained with both of these gentlemen. I used to train with Ryan Bader relatively, pretty consistently, and now I train over at the MMA lab. I train with Benson Henderson. I think that Benson wants to win a little bit more, so I think that's why he's going to win. I think we got more than that, and also there's all the MMA lab guys are on Team Henderson's team, and I think that's gonna be the main reason. So, but yeah, it should be a lot of fun though. I'm looking forward to that, and there's gonna be a lot of fights on that card. Rampage Jackson, Frank Mir, and Tito Ortiz are going to be the main people running the promotion, as far as I know. Anyway, that's what's going on. And what was really cool is all three of them. I got to meet all three of them. They were doing a bunch of footage for some of the guys on the card and just watching it. They just wanted to watch his work in general. And so they were watching me and all my teammates practice, and I was training with Jakar Close, who had a fight come up. Jakar Close is, he's a well-known guy, so it was a great experience, that's for sure. And it's good to see this stuff early on, so that way when the big show hits, it's not quite, it just feels like another day.
Yeah. No, no, for sure, man. And of course, I mean, I like the whole team concept because, of course, both these guys are local to Arizona, so it kind of throws a little bit of the bragging rights kind of thing, on it. A little bit more.
Because I have trained with both of them, it's very interesting, and the timing of it, because I kind of recently left too. We'll see how all that plays out. Should be interesting. They'll probably see me, and I wonder if they're gonna. Oh, you are still around. That kind of stuff.
Man, but you gotta love it though, man, because even like with here in San Antonio, I mean, there's different teams that compete, and when they make it outside the regional circuit, they start cross training, so it only makes sense, right? I mean, getting better and getting more people out there from Arizona in general, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a big scene out here, man. There's so many guys, and not just right now, but like even in the early days, like it's a hot spot for mixed martial arts in America. There's no doubt about it. It's if not the best one, it's right up there.
No, no, definitely, man. And I mean, of course, this is Freedom Fight Night that's happening. It's going to be the third installment. And I mean, I've been looking at the fight card. I mean, there's a lot of guys with experience on there. And just the fighting, man, I'm a fan of it, man. So, I mean, of course, November 4th, it's going to be going on. I'm going to be watching it via pay-per-view because I can't make it out there. I was actually invited to go out there and cover the event, man. But I was like, man, it's just bad timing, bro. Like, I would have loved to. And as soon as it.
Yeah, you got to go to the next one. In fact, honestly, I'd like to fight for especially if they. I'm not gonna do tons more amateur fights. I'll probably go pro next year, but I just want to be ready because once you go pro, there's no going back. So I'm taking this.
Bro.
But I mean, if they have any amateur fights next year or in the next card, I'd love to be a part of it. Especially if Benson gets past Ryan and I get to represent Team Henderson, that'd be sweet. Just makes sense. It's a solid promotion, though. I'm looking forward to watching the fights. I have about 4 or 5, probably about 4, maybe even more teammates than that fighting on the card. Almost half the card has guys from the MMA lab, which is the way it should be. So.
Oh, yeah. No, no, for sure, man. And of course, I mean, like you said, I mean, Arizona has been a hotspot for years. There's a lot of great teams, a lot of great fighters coming out of there, and it's just, it's going to keep adding up. I mean, especially with other new guys coming on, man. That's actually pretty exciting.
Absolutely.
And bro, and I mean, and you didn't even tell me this, so more than likely you are going to go pro next year.
Probably, yeah. I mean, we'll see. I haven't actually talked to people just yet, but I mean, it just kind of makes sense. And give me things. I'll be 25. I've had Muay Thai fights. I've had hundreds of jiu-jitsu matches, hundreds of wrestling matches. I've had a lot of fights, and I've fought guys that are, I haven't fought a guy officially that's lost a fight. Everybody I fought's been 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, blah blah blah, or maybe a debuter. But like, I've fought guys that are all tough. I've fought many different styles. I fought guys that are tall. I fought guys that are shorter. I fought guys that wrestle. I fought guys that have jiu-jitsu. I fought guys that like to go to strike. I fought guys that are southpaws. I fought guys, so I've had a solid variety of opponent. And I've had a solid variety of looks my way. And for better or worse, I've gone 9 minutes with each of them. You know what I mean? So I have a pretty solid amount of experience. Even Crouch was like, "You got a lot of fights, like that's 6-7 MMA fights plus Muay Thai fights with all that. I mean, you're pretty experienced."
Yeah.
So I think maybe 2 more should be good, especially against some solid opponents and get some names. I want to get closer to making 155 pounds. So I'll be looking to make catch weight around like maybe 165, 160, just so I can gradually get the weight down, do it intelligently and healthily. So and pro debut. I mean, that's we'll see how things play out, and we'll see what other people have to say as far as that are influential in what I'm doing. But as of right now, that's kind of where my head's at with all that.
No, definitely, man. And of course, and so you are looking to go down to 155 eventually.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
And as far as you said two more fights, but is this going to be two fights in kickboxing and MMA or just in MMA?
I think MMA, it just makes sense to do that.
Oh yeah.
I think part of the reason, part of my shortcomings in my last MMA fight, even though it was close and it was a tough guy, is just like I had just won a national championship in Muay Thai, and that guy was not only a wrestler, but he's really good at forward pressure, looking to get the clinch, laying some dirty boxing, and impose a lot of like heavy wrestling and pressure. Like I hadn't dealt with that really ever, but also especially coming off of doing pretty much almost exclusively striking, that was going to be tough. But I was ready for the challenge. I won. Did it for the challenge. Um, but I'm not. That's not going to be. I'm not making a mistake, and I'll be doing everything.
No, no, for sure, man. And as far as yourself, man, I mean, you see, you're not working right now.
Right now, no, they told me I couldn't because I've had a broken rib.
I mean, it makes sense, man, because I'm like you said, it's your core, you read, bro. I mean, you can't really have any range of motion unless you're going to be sitting down answering phones or something, right?
Pretty much, but even then, that's still kind of a liability. They can still get in trouble for that. That's why I said no.
No, no.
They told me I couldn't work for like at least 2 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, well, hopefully, and that's, I mean, it's unfortunate too, because I mean, obviously, you can't be training yet. So hopefully, when that opens up, you can jump back in the gym and get back at it, man.
Yeah, I mean, part of me kind of likes sleeping in and not having to work, but at the same time, I feel there's like that feeling of anxiety where it's like you feel like you're kind of wasting your life a little bit, and it said that's kind of you kind of have to. So it's one of those things. But I think in the long run, it's a good thing. I think maybe I needed a little. I have pretty stacked days, so this is just kind of a little bit of maybe necessary rest time before things really get.
No, definitely, bro. Because I mean, I got in the same situation working at the post office. I mean, I had an elbow injury. The doctor took me out of work. I wasn't able to work for like 3 months, bro. I was still out and about. I was walking. I go jogging. Um, they tried to get me in trouble, saying that I was doing all this, when my elbow was the issue. And they were like, "Well, how come you can still go walking and do?" And I'm like, "Man,
Oh yeah.
yeah, my legs are working perfectly fine, man. Like there's nothing wrong with my legs, but it was just, the doctor was just like, man, I just don't do anything. And I'm like, man, that's kind of redundant, It's just like I can still go out there. I wasn't working out, I wasn't getting paid, I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah.
get busy, man. It's I get being home all day, man, just depressing, man. I couldn't do it, so I was like, you know what?
Yeah. And also, it just chipped, and for me anyway, I just feel guilty.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you probably feel the same way. It's just like I feel like I'm just wasting my potential, and if I'm wasting my potential, that's time you can't get time back. It's the one thing, and you're just wasting it. Or at least it feels like that. But I think so much of what goes on in our lives is not in our control. That's just the reality of it. How many people are on this planet? 7 billion. We're just one. You know what I mean? Like there's we're a tiny, tiny, tiny like drop in a giant lake. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
that's what I've been trying to. I don't know. Maybe that's just kind of what I've been analyzing. For the last little bit. That's just kind of gotta be like you just gotta kind of roll with the punches and everything, and just be versatile and be sharp because so much stuff that so much is just out of our control. So we might as well just be adaptable. That's all you can do. Be better than you were yesterday.
Yeah, no, no, I hear you, man. Because even I mean, I've got two daughters, man, and of course, I'm constantly telling them like, man, do something. Don't just sit there and waste it, because one likes to wake up late every day, and I'm just like, get up and go walk. If anything, at least go and do something. Just better yourself. But
Yeah,
they'll learn soon enough, man. It should be hopefully before it's too late, bro.
definitely.
And man, I mean, as far as the fight, man, you're gonna be heading out there, like you said, you have a couple teammates on the card. So,
Mhm.
I mean, are you excited? I mean, you haven't fought in a while, so are you gonna be out there like kicking the seat in front of you or reacting?
I'm not gonna be kicking the scene in front of me, but I'm definitely gonna be watching. I'm they've been putting in a lot of work, and everybody's just great to work with. The lab's a great place, you know what I mean. So it's just they're good. Everybody's been training really hard. There's been a lot of big fights coming up, and so it's gonna be good to see the hard work pay off, and why we do this.
No, no, yeah, for sure, bro. And I'm sure once you're able to go back in there, man, you're gonna be back at it. Get back to work, man. I mean, I know, like you said, you kind of feel like you're wasting away your time, but I mean, rest up. I mean, you got a
What I'm
month.
doing. Yeah. And this is the time for me to kind of like kick back and relax if there's gonna be a time. I mean, not too much, obviously, but like relatively speaking, anyway, compared to being in a camp and working all that stuff, I'm not gonna be able to rest too much. I'm not gonna have as much rest time as I am right now. I might as well just rest up and you know be ready to go and just but like mentally, before everything starts rolling. Because right now it's like I kind of hate like I hate kind of sitting around. I kind of hate, not being able to train. But there's probably going to be a time in a couple weeks or whatever where it's like, oh, I kind of, So it's one of
No,
those things, just taking in strides, I guess.
no, no, for sure, man. Man, I'm gonna go over some of the bouts real quick, man, just to throw them out there. But I mean, of course, Team Henderson.
Are you gonna ask me for predictions?
No, actually, I mean, I know you got a lot of teammates, bro. So I'm sure you're.
Well, I'm letting you know right now. If there's any of my teammates, they're all there. Just put a dub right next to my name, as far as like where my predictions lay. That's what's going on there. But that's what I thought you were gonna do. Sorry about that, but
No, 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 you're fine, bro. And I mean, of course, I mean, I was just gonna throw the names themselves because I mean, there's gonna be, like you said, it's gonna be a stack card. I mean, just from the photos that they've been posting, of course, on their social media outlet. I mean, I'm excited, man. I looked up some of these fighters, like you said. I mean, so, Muffet versus Worms. This is gonna be at a cash weight, of course, cash weight bout. I mean, we've got Vasquez out of Henderson taking on Dickerson from Vader. I mean, there's quite a few cash weight bouts, man, and I've noticed that more and more, like with a lot of the promotions. I mean, some on the UFC Fight Pass and just in general. But well, why is that? I mean, why is it that they've been having a lot of cash weight bouts? I mean, guys just not wanting to able to drop.
there's a variety of reasons, and it kind of depends on the individual match. But a couple of common reasons I think are one, if it's a short notice fight, they don't want to drop that extra weight. If it's a short notice fight, it's usually because they don't want to cut the weight typically, or if it's an actual like plan thing, like I'm looking to do, it's because they probably want to eventually drop the weight to the weight class below, and they're just looking to do it kind of slowly and gradually and healthily, which is what I want to do. But also I don't know if you noticed this, but the most common catchweight fight that I've seen is like 165 or like 160. It's right between welterweight and lightweight, or lightweight welterweight, I should say. And I think the main difference is because it's the first division that goes from a 10-pound difference to a 15-pound difference. And those guys aren't like, if you're 170 pounds, you're not like that big of a guy. And if you're 155 pounds, you're definitely not that big of a guy. You know what I mean? Like, so it's you know there's a it's a very unique window of division change, really, just because like when you get to that higher body, when you get to closer to 200 pounds, 15 pounds isn't that much, or like even slightly below that, but like 155 to 170 is kind of where like the drop off, like it's like where the fork meets the road a little bit, like.
Right.
So a lot of people kind of compete at their best and should be kind of like in between, but because it's such a gray area of a weight gap, I think between like 150 and 190, there's a lot of people there, and some people can make like Joel Alvarez would probably really benefit from being 165, just because like I think at 55 he's too big. He's like 6'3", and he's not like super small either. And he's fighting at 55, or he's I don't know if he's 6'3", but he's very tall, and like even like a Jalen Turner. But like they lose their chin a little bit. Even a guy like Colby Covington, who fights at 70, could probably benefit from fighting at 65, because there's definitely, even a guy like Masvidal, same thing. Like some of those guys that fight at 70 could fight at 65. They're just not the biggest welterweights in the world. And then vice versa, guys that are really big lightweights, a guy like James Vick or Jalen Turner or one of these other guys could really benefit, or even like Kevin Lee. could really benefit from a 65 division just because
Yeah.
they can make 55, but they're gonna be depleted of some explosivity and some durability and probably some endurance too, just from and just they're more prone to injury that way. It just is what it is. Yeah, that's what I've noticed patterns anyway. Those are the patterns as to.
No, yeah, man, because I've been seeing it, and I mean, I just had to ask because I know you say you wanted to do a catch weight yourself, and
Yeah.
I was just curious to see if that was one of the reasons, man. But of course, it makes sense. You know, a lot of these guys, like you said, when they're welterweights, lightweights, there's not a lot more fat they can lose, man. I mean, I was watching a promotion the other day, and there was a guy fighting at 155 that was 6'4".
Yeah, exactly. I'm 5'10". You know, I'm not that big of a lightweight. I wouldn't be that big of a light. I'd be bulky. I'd be like kind of like Cannonair because Cannonair is like got long arms and very muscular, kind of how I'm built. So.
Yeah. No, yeah, bro. And I mean, it always differs because I know I've seen matchups and I'm thinking, man, there's no way this guy did made 145. And it's just, I mean, all that water weight. And then, of course, the day up, they put in the 15, 20 pounds, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think you. I mean, cutting weight's always gonna be a thing. I had to cut weight for my last fight, and I fought at 70. You know what I mean? So like, cutting weight's always gonna be a thing. Um, some of those really tall guys that do it, I feel like they're like they're kind of sacrificing a little bit of durability when they do that. But like if they're really tall and really skinny, they're sacrificing some speed, some athleticism, and some durability. So it's gonna be a lot of so much fighting is strategy, I think, and just utilizing your assets and your tools against like because I don't think I'm ever gonna be the super like Brendan Royval. Like I'm never gonna be like that. Me and him are like almost probably like the same height, but he fights at 25, and I'm just now trying to make my way to 55. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. But I don't know where I was going with that all, but
No, 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 you're
probably
good.
never be. I'll probably never be like that, but I do think that I'll be a solid 55er because I'm like I got a lot of mass on me, I got a lot of muscle on me, and I got long arms. I got a big old head. I have a big bone structure. That's just how it is. I got big hands. It is what it is. But I'm excited though. I think it makes sense for my style, especially since I like to put a lot of pressure and go for takedowns. It just makes sense, especially
Oh,
since
yeah.
everybody's a wrestler.
I was I was gonna
Everybody's a
say,
wrestler.
especially you're built like a wrestler, bro. I mean, you're short,
Oh yeah.
stocky. You got that speed. You got that strength. I mean, it works for you, and you definitely make it work, man. But I mean, the fact that you transitioned and started doing kickboxing, I mean, I wasn't surprised because I know you said you wanted to try it, but the fact that you went in there, threw yourself out of your element in a sense, because you've been grappling since back here in San Antonio, man, since you were a kid, bro.
Yeah, and to win a national championship too, I think that's something a lot of people were like, "Ooh," like this guy's actually like pretty good everywhere. This guy can actually fight. This guy can actually strike. He can do it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, Muay Thai is different though from MMA striking because it's a lot. You gotta move your head a little bit more in MMA. If you just because Muay Thai it's kind of straight up.
Right.
A lot of marching. If you do that in MMA, you don't move your head, you can get knocked out pretty easily because 4-ounce gloves are no joke. But yeah, that kind of it's something I never thought I could do until this year, and I did it, and I won it at a national level too. I didn't win no novice division either. I won the advanced division. Super. I mean, I can do anything I put on my mind to.
No, for sure, man. And I mean, that's why, I mean, this whole time I've been talking, like we've been talking on and off, man. And I mean, just the fact that you're still improving, you're still adding tools to your trade. And I mean, now in the new team, you got new teammates to help you, mold you, and learn new stuff, man. That's actually pretty exciting, bro.
Yeah, this is probably going to be like my biggest infrastructure build per se, as far as like building my foundation. This is really because guys that are you need a manager or you need like a good management team. You need good matchmaking. You need like good people around you. You need people that give you sponsorship access. You can actually train more, or maybe you can start training full time soon. That kind of thing. This is going to be the place where I can really make that happen. I didn't really have that before, and some of the guys I'm fighting, like the level of guys I'm fighting, have all this stuff, and it doesn't make sense for me to not have it, and they have it. Just it's an unnecessary advantage that they have that. And now I'm going to be able to fix.
No, for sure, man. And I'm sure it's gonna happen, man. It's just a matter of time, you know. I mean, it's something you're gonna be working on, I'm sure, as soon as you start training again. But my
Yeah,
man, you know, I appreciate you jumping on this. We're gonna talk a little bit more after we wrap this up. But I mean, of course, the promotion. I mean, you're gonna be out there enjoying. When you're out there, send me some photos, man. I want to see who's
I
out there.
will. We gotta have you out there next time.
I know, bro. I'm definitely
Especially
gonna.
if I'm fighting, you gotta be on there. You gotta be there, man. It'll be a great moment too. It'll be
Oh no, you know what, man? If you do, I definitely will, bro. I'll tell you that much, bro. If you fight, especially if this promotion did, I'll definitely be out there support you.
I'd love to be on it. Hey, Freedom Fighter, if you're listening, I'd love
There
to
you
be a part of it. Let's go.
go. But man, don't hang up yet, bro. Everybody out
I'm
there,
not
Fighter, the Fight Car Podcast. Till next time, follow it.